Welcome everybody back to another edition of the Justin Rombough podcast. Today I will be discussing the University of Arizona and their victory over Iowa State last night. Coming into this game, Iowa State was ranked number 3 in the country, their best team since the 96-97 team, I believe, their best start. They were 17-3 coming into the game. Arizona was favored though by 2.5 points. It was at McKALE Center, and as you know, if you're an Arizona fan, it is a very, very tough place to play. McKALE Center, you know, it was going to be rocking. It was a whiteout, unbelievable atmosphere per usual. Now, this Arizona team has had a bit of an interesting start to the season. They were off to a really slow start, but they've found their groove. They were coming into the game 7-1 in conference play, the same record as Iowa State. Houston leading the Big 12 at 8-0 in the conference. Now, coming into this game, my expectations were I knew it was going to be an interesting game. It was going to be a close game, I figured. Iowa State, they have great defense. You got Lipsy and all those dudes. And coming into the game with Arizona, you know, we always have great guard play. They do call it Point Guard U. Mike Bibby, Damon Stoudemire, Nick Johnson, Nico Mannion. We've had great point guards over the years. Miles Simon. And coming into this game, you know, this squad, I love Jaden Bradley. I love his energy. We got him a couple years ago. He was the SEC Freshman of the Year, I believe, 3 years ago for Alabama. We've had him for the last 2 seasons. He's been a great player, brings a lot of the energy. KJ Lewis, coming into his sophomore season, had a lot of room to grow. He had a pretty good freshman season last year. Krivas, our big man, went out for the year, unfortunately, that big 7-footer. So that's a huge loss for us, but it's the next man up mentality down there in Tucson with Tommy Lloyd and the crew. And, I mean, I just got to get to it. I've been watching this team since I was born. Wasn't alive for the 97 championship. Mike Bibby, Miles Simon, Jason Terry, and the crew got that victory. Unbelievable run. I wish I was alive for it. And I want to be alive for the next championship. I want to see it. But we are not going to win if Caleb Love is taking over 20 shots a game. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's just unbelievable how our best player, or one of our best players, is a shot chucker that his best career moment was over 3 years ago. I just had to take a drink because it's getting me too fired up. But we'll get into it. In this game, going back and forth, Arizona, biggest lead, we go up 9. We have some momentum. Iowa State comes crawling back. They get a 3-pointer to close the half to cut it to a 4-point lead for the Wildcats. Second half, back and forth. We're making buckets. They're making buckets. And throughout the game, I'm watching it with my buddy Brock. And it really pisses me off just watching Caleb Love take a 3 after 3 after 3. And the misses keep adding up as the night goes on. And it's in the 4th quarter at this point. The game's close. And I'm just pissed off at he's missing these threes. I mean, yeah, they're tough shots, but he's also missing just wide open threes. And, you know, last season, every year, obviously, as a fan, you want your team to win the championship. That's just delusional if you're a fan of a team that's not good. But if, you know, the Arizona basketball program, our expectations are high. When we had Sean Miller, it was Final Four or bust, and he never succeeded at that. And, you know, it's been really, really good regular seasons for Tommy Lloyd and the crew. We've had great teams, Matherin, Tubelis, Krisa, all those guys, Bala. We've had great players. You know, grab your passport. Shout out to John Rothstein. You know, we're doing the thing. We're going overseas. We're getting these recruits. We're getting these guys. And as I mentioned, we've had a lot of great point guards at our school. You know, Mike Bibby, Jason Terry, Miles Simon, Gabe York, Nico Mannion, I could go on and on. Nick Johnson. We've had great guys over the years. And, some of these guys will stay for one season, have a great year. Aaron Gordon, he's not a point guard, but he had a great 1 year in Tucson. Stanley Johnson had a pretty decent run. Obviously, he didn't work out too well in the pros, but we've had these one-and-dones. Lowry Markkanen, great one-and-done player. Alonzo Trier, DeAndre Ayton. We've had these great one-year players, one-and-dones. But the luck as a Tucson, the luck that we endure, sometimes it just doesn't go our way. And sometimes we get these players that stay on the team that you just hate to watch. And Caleb Love is a player that I hate to watch play basketball. Now, you might think this love is unwarranted, considering he made an unbelievable shot last night. A 60-foot heave, a 60-foot bomb to save the game. But what these casual Arizona fans might not realize was before that shot, I believe he was 1 for 10 from 3. 10% from 3. Now, if you're a very casual college basketball fan, which I'll admit, during football season, I'm not too locked into the college basketball season. I definitely ramp it up after college football is done and the NFL's starting to wrap up. But I love my squad. I'll watch Arizona games as much as I can. And every game I watch, Caleb Love is just missing shots. And I know that's kind of his MO. He's a shot chucker. He's not a guy that's going to have 10 assists. It's just not going to happen. He's not a lockdown defender. But I'll take you guys on a Caleb Love career retrospective. Now this dude, this cat, if you will, is a little less than 2 months older than me. September 27th, 2001. So I consider him a peer. Now, I'm going to be critical of my peers, okay? For his career, 5 years he's been in college. He's a career 38% and 32% field goal at 38% and three-pointer at 32%. No wonder why he's been in college for 5 years, because that's not going to cut it at the next level, Caleb. It's not going to cut it. Now, Caleb Love was in the 2020 recruiting class with the likes of Cade Cunningham, a star in Detroit, Jalen Green, he definitely has the keys in Houston, Evan Mobley, a great player on those Cavs teams, Scotty Barnes, maybe the richest man in Toronto, Jalen Suggs, a great player in Orlando, Jalen Johnson, really coming onto his own, and Walker Kessler. All of those players a lot more successful than Caleb Love. Now, as I mentioned earlier, in his sophomore season, UNC, North Carolina, went on a great run in the tournament. Shout out to Roy Williams and the squad. They went on a great run. They made it all the way to the title game against those stupid Jayhawks down in Lawrence. And they ended up losing in the title game. Now, I want you to guess what Caleb's field goal percentage was, or what he even did from the field. He went 5 of 24. Exhibit B. Last season, Arizona, number 2 seed. We're winning games. We win the first round. We win the second round against Dayton. A really tough squad, but we were able to get it done. We're going up against number 6 seeded Clemson. Going into the game, I was feeling pretty confident. This dude, Caleb Love, goes 5 of 18 from the field. Single-handedly loses us the game. Now, coming into this season, he's back again. And he's shooting 39% from the field and 31% from 3. we're not going to win many games in the tournament if that's our best player. I digress. Moving on, my other beloved team, the Boston Celtics. Now, we're coming off winning the title last season, which it was bound to happen. We've been fighting for it for many years. Many years. Tough losses in the bubble to Miami. To Miami again. Milwaukee. It's just been, we've been able to beat Philly though, because we're not worried about them. Not worried about them. But this season, it's always about how do you defend the title? And it's been a slow start for Boston. I know we're second in the East. I know we're still there. We're kind of coasting till the playoffs, which is understandable. Brown and Tatum, they've got miles on their legs. Over 100-game season plus the Olympics. They're gassed. But, you know, it's near the All-Star break. You kind of have to find a little bit of momentum. The teams that make a run in the postseason start to find their rhythm around this time of the year. And last night, I'm recording this around 3:23 in the afternoon, Tuesday, January 28th. The Celtics lost to Houston, 114 to 112, I believe. Amen Thompson had a game-winning floater over Jaylen Brown. Amen Thompson, second-year star out of Houston. He is ridiculous. Top 5 athlete, if not number 1, from multiple sources. I need to see that dude in person. I need to just see his athleticism. Had a career high, 33 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 13 of 19 from the field. Obviously, his three-point shot, it's going to take some time. It's still a little funky. He went 1 of 2 from 3. Obviously, the attempts are going to hopefully increase as he gets better. But, I mean, the 3-point, it didn't even matter because his running mate, the man that is Dillon Brooks, went for 36 points, 10 3-pointers, ties the franchise record for Houston. 13 of 23 from the field. He's having a ridiculous season. He's 29 years old, so he should be entering his prime, as expected. 38.4% from 3 on 6 attempts. That Houston squad, Ime Udoka, you know, he's got some, I'm sure he's got some, you know, ill will towards Boston. Obviously, you know, things ended a little scandalous for our guy Ime, but you know, they got dogs. They got Thompson, they got Brooks, they got Green, they got Sengun. I mean, they got dogs in Houston, and they're going to be a formidable opponent in the West, along with Oklahoma City. These teams, like Oklahoma City, like Cleveland, like Houston, they're building these rosters to beat teams like Boston with these tall wings, Brown, Tatum, Pritchard, you know, Holiday. These guys that can play multiple positions. Holiday was guarding Sengun. It's crazy. Holiday, I mean, he's one of the best defenders in the NBA. But these teams are building their rosters specifically to beat Boston. Big wings that can guard multiple positions. Look at Oklahoma City. You got Holmgren, you got J-Dub, you got SGA. These guys are all 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", and above that can guard multiple positions. You got switchable defenders. That's the NBA now. It's positionless basketball. Can you shoot? Can you defend multiple positions? Can you dribble even? So these teams are just building these rosters to beat the team's biggest strength, the best team's biggest strength, which Boston, it's there. How are the Jays doing? You know, is Brown and Tatum, how are they doing? How are you going to stop them? So these teams are being made specifically to beat the teams like Boston, like Denver. And, you know, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough sledding for Boston. Obviously, they've dealt with some injury bugs with Porzingis and things like that, but it's going to be an uphill battle. They've got the target from everybody. Everybody's circling them every single game. So it's going to be an uphill battle from here on out with Boston. We'll see if they get some deals done before the trade deadline, but I just needed to get that off my chest. Caleb Love, man, I mean, I wish you the best. You're on my favorite squad, but I need you to start sinking shots or finding better shots for your teammates, because I just can't do it anymore, man. If there could be a trade that could happen, like if we can trade you for something like a couple role players, like if we can get back like some bench players on Kentucky that aren't being used, or get a Duke player or something, I would do it, because I'm getting sick of it. I can't watch the shot chucking anymore. This isn't North Carolina. We have other players that can score. We got Jaden Bradley. We got KJ Lewis. We got Carter Bryant. The future of Tucson is gonna be, he's the future of Tucson. Carter Bryant. I love him. He's a dog. Carter Bryant, I want you to stay, man. This one and done era, this NIL era, this transfer portal era, it's definitely changed the landscape of college athletics for the better or for the worse. Only time will tell, but bear down. Let's finish out this year strong. Let's make a run. Let's do it for Tucson. Tommy Lloyd, if you gotta, put your faith in somebody other than Caleb. Last night was crazy, and if he can do that consistently, good luck, but you got a good thing going in Tucson, Tommy. Do what you need to do. I don't know what that involves with Caleb, but do what you got to do, and let's finish out this year strong. Bear down.